Where do we start to tell a story that has taken a lifetime to witness and experience? Adventures from around the globe.
The ups, the downs, the struggles, and the rewards.
As the couple who started it all on outdoor television, we are now riding the wave of the future.
Bringing our years of experience and adventure
To you.
What a magnificent buck. Oh, baby.
It's not about the record books.
It's about living this lifestyle and making memories to pass on to the next generation. Respect the land, the animals, and the people.
Be true stewards to the land.
Our family lives by example. Faith, family, and work ethics.
We are on the most incredible journey of our lives.
It's time to get back to our roots
And go off-grid.
Okay, so we're talking
Eye level.
eye level, ground blinds,
Brooms.
bruins,
Blinds.
bows.
Bows,
Bows.
brooms, blinds. Yeah.
Welcome to this episode of Off Grid with Ralph and Vicki. This week, we're gonna be talking about ground blind bear hunting.
There is something that will get your adrenaline even to a higher level when you are eye level to an A1 predator and, well, your prey.
Yeah, so I mean, it's exciting. All the hunts are exciting, but when you can go and hunt bears from the ground and those bears can come up and start knocking on your blind, that gets your heart racing. And let me tell you something, you know what? We got some tips and some tricks for you to help you get successful for a ground hunt.
And the bottom line here is if you're a little bit nervous, listen, suck it up, Buttercup, because there is nothing like being that close, having them come in and look at you eye level and say, hey, your dinner.
So here we go. We got some tips and some tricks and some hunts, of course, right here with Off Grid and Us.
With Ralph and Vicki.
Here we go again. Always in the shadow. Just saying.
When I first got the phone call from Ralph and Vicki, I was surprised, I was shocked. I didn't know what to expect by any means. And then I listened to, like what was gonna happen and all, what was gonna go on here, and that we were gonna be sleeping in a tent and needed a sleeping bag. And so I was nervous, I was excited, but I was definitely pumped. And the fact that I got to go with Ralph and Vicki and Shannon, it was just awesome. It was gonna be an awesome experience, and I couldn't wait.
Something was in here this afternoon. This is all hit, trail cam. Holy cow! Look at the blind.
Oh, he didn't like it.
He attacked it. Or someone attacked it.
I don't think it was anything but the bears.
Holy Toby. Look at this. Claw marks.
Did he get in?
It's breaking to shreds.
We are at day 4 of our hunt here at Ken Gangler's Canadian Subarctic. Ralph shot an awesome bear last night, and we're sitting on this new bait site today, and we have a really nice boar coming in. We think he's also coming in with a sow. It's
You know, when you're on the ground, you're always, you never know what's going to happen. And especially in a ground blind, if you don't have 360-degree view, you know, sometimes, just like with Dusty, you're going to have this bear come up. And I'm telling her, don't worry. I could start hearing her breathe. I could start hearing her heartbeat. It was pounding, and I'm like, it's going to be okay.
And she's never had anything that close, no encounter like that ever before.
No, but you know, I really wasn't scared because I figured, hell, the bear's gonna eat her first anyways.
Right there, right where I shot the deer. I keep saying deer, I'm just so excited. Right where I just shot the bear. I'm just so excited, I can't even talk right now, I'm tongue twisted. Okay, so it's been a little while. We waited. Now we're gonna get out of the blind, go look at my arrow, and see if we can find my bear. That's a good arrow. Complete pass-through is a good arrow. We are bearing down here at Ken Gangler's Canadian Subarctic. I took this beautiful black bear this evening about 7:30. It's our last night here in camp. It was not my biggest black bear, but it was my first black bear out of a ground blind. And he was 2 feet from us at one point, right behind the blind. Talk about your adrenaline pumping. But it was definitely an adrenaline rush that I can never top as far as that goes. We are here. It has been an awesome trip. I have had the experience of a lifetime. We've been fishing, caught some massive northern pike, and now I have just harvested this beautiful black bear, and he's going back to Ohio with me.
Off Grid is brought to you by Alps. Exceed your expectations. Bass Pro Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Bog. Engineered for the unknown. Boss Buck Feeders. Now you're getting serious. Brownie. The best there is. Cyclops Lights. Get out of the dark. Easton. Advancing archery's legacy since 1922. Gammo. Adult precision airguns. Hoyt. Get serious, get Hoyt.
You want every advantage you can get. That's why you choose SpyPoint, the unquestioned leader in trail camera technology. Features like the exclusive buck tracker technology save you time and make you a better hunter by letting you focus on images of bucks with the touch of a button. Class-leading technology, industry-leading data plans, and the easiest activation on the market. That's the Link series of cellular trail cameras from SpyPoint.
For those who have hunted bears from an elevated platform, you need to get eye level.
There's something so exciting about hunting black bears from a ground blind.
Oh, it's just, they're right there, and they're inquisitive animals. Multiple times, not just a couple, we have the bears literally come right to you in the blind.
So they're just inquisitive. It's just like if you're up in a tree stand, they come up to
Yep.
see what you are. There's a blind there. Now, there's some tricks to setting up those blinds when you're hunting on bears and bait situations.
One of those tricks is, for most of our antlered game, you really got to be specific, more specific. You need to brush them in better.
Put them out much earlier.
Right. We have found that's not necessarily the case with bears.
Yeah, or turkeys actually.
Right.
But we're talking bears right now.
Right. But, trying to keep them so the sun's not hitting that, that big surface so it flares out. We've seen that deter them,
Right.
the movement right away. But if you just tuck it in, especially in a lot of the areas that we are hunting bears, you're in pines, you're in spruce, you're in swampy, you know what I mean?
Right.
You can have the availability of just keeping it in the shade more. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing how those bears look when they are eye level to you.
Now, one of the things you have to remember though also is when you're hunting bears from a ground blind situation is that because you are eye level to them, they may appear bigger
Than they actually
are. It's kind of like that little warning on your
You seen that
rearview mirror.
disclaimer?
Objects are closer.
May look closer.
May look closer than they appear.
Or further, whichever.
Yeah, bears may look bigger than they are when you're sitting on the ground.
So you possibly might make a mistake of shooting a bear that you thought was a
Huge.
whole hell of a lot bigger than it really was. Now, if that's the case and that happens, let's just put it this way. All you need to do is take the bear, be happy, tag it, you
That's
got a
right,
bear.
you did it. Awesome, you were on the ground.
But when you take it back to camp, just tell everybody, well, listen, I have a spot for this, and it's not a really big area. So I really set my sights in just a smaller bear because the hide, you know what I mean? So always, proper planning prevents, people picking on you.
So when you are setting up a ground blind though, for a bear hunting situation, you need to be aware of a couple things. One thing, because they are curious, they will come up close to the blind and they may stick their head in the blind, and it's happened before. So we don't leave our blinds out that often if we're bear hunting. Now we have, but we have learned from our mistakes.
Yeah, they'll come in, and especially if they push on it and it gives, I think it's just something triggers them, and then they start just swatting at it and their claws, and they tear it up. We've had poles. Literally, I think one of the best times, and I don't even think we got it on film. If you remember, the blind was destroyed, and he pooped right on the blind, laying on the ground, and it was
kinda
like,
what do you think of that, guys?
yeah. So it was funny. It was costly, but at the end of the day, we got that bear.
Now we've learned from our mistakes. So even when you and Dusty were up there and you guys got to the blind, it was flattened down.
And she hadn't had a lot of experience,
Right?
Because she was very nervous, because that bear was right on your left
Oh
side.
yeah, when you can hear them breathing and they rub up against the blind,
Yeah, baby.
you realize that you are no longer the dominant predator in the situation. This thing's got claws.
You're prey.
You are prey. So you got to try to keep yourself maintained and just keep your game on.
Something about being there when you look and they're looking and they look. And then all of a sudden I'll be telling Vicki, he's coming. And sure enough, they just start coming.
So one of the things is when you do set up your blinds, now we've talked before, trail cameras, make sure if you're hunting bears, you don't put your bait hands all over your trail cameras.
Right.
Well, try to do the same thing with your blinds. unless you want them closer to come smell you more, and especially if you're gonna leave it up, do not get any bait scent on there. However, Ralph has a theory that if you take your bear bomb and you spray around your blind, so your blind smells like cake frosting or something of that nature, it's good.
Gonna get close opportunities.
Really close.
Exceptionally close.
We've been in camp and in places, even at home, where we've had people.
Oh,
go
we've
out
been
and-
there.
Where you go out and you go hunting out of a ground blind, and maybe you've never tried to shoot your bow from a sitting position. We're telling you right now,
Practice.
set up a ground blind, and if you don't have a ground blind, still sit on a chair the size of a chair that you're gonna sit from a ground blind, and draw back and shoot and practice, because it takes different muscles to draw your bow back sitting down than it does standing up. And we've seen it. We've seen it where we've had friends, we're sitting there filming them and they can't get their bow back. And it's not a matter of the adrenaline that there's an animal in front of them. They just couldn't get their bow back because they were sitting down trying to shoot and they never had before.
But it's also a lot of times when you're in a tree stand, you're in a spot and stalk situation. A lot of people don't pay it. You know, it's easy. They look around, they know they got clearance. Well, a lot of times if you draw back and you go to put the pin on, you have to look where that arrow is, because a lot of times that pin may be on that bear, but where the arrow is literally down below the window. So make sure you've got the right height, you've got the right posture or whatever to make sure when you're at full draw that you have that ample arrow clearance coming out of that window.
And we have seen triangles
Oh, you've
from the
seen
broadheads
oh.
on there all the time. It just
The ones
it
I don't
happens.
understand are the ones that are like way above the window.
Like, whoa.
Off Grid is also brought to you by Hunter Specialties, serious hunting tools. Muddy, serious gear for serious hunters. NAP, hunt with confidence. Plano, protect your passion. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors. Spyplane, connected to your passion. Traditions, feel the difference. True Glow, when brightness counts. Off Grid is also brought to you in part by Off Grid's conservation group of choice, the Wild Sheep Foundation.
It's awesome coming up here with your friends and family for the first time bear hunting, with your friends first time bear hunting, first time coming up into Canada. It's first time for everything basically. I've been here before, but bear hunting, this is awesome. Well, since Fish and Case, we've been friends for a long time now, and it's awesome. Hunt a lot in Florida, get gators, hogs, all that. Now, finally, we're bear hunting in Canada.
That's it. That's it, buddy. You see the beautiful bear?
Texting fish in case. Mommy. I can't stop.
That's awesome.
Well, Mommy, Don, Freddie are go coming here. The bear's right over there, dead. There's a little blue bear up in the tree, small little one. But it's a good night.
I'm proud of you, buddy. I know what it is your bear. Tell him what happened. Come here.
So they just saw a brown bear and a black bear just started walking in. And he's like, oh, no. And so he got the camera ready and everything. They just kind of walked in. The black bear got in here first. And then just kind of started eating around. Then the brown bear just kind of slowly moved in. And then the black bear kind of ran over there a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he came back and like stood right around here.
Yeah.
And then the brown bear was kind of like sitting on the tree and eating like.
Yeah.
And then the black bear kind of walked over there, started like walking over there and just kind of stood around over there.
Yeah.
And then the brown bear he was just kind of pushing it like that.
He
and then,
come in
right,
and he had his left arm on the barrel, on the top of the barrel. I said, RJ, you know where you got to put it. You know what I mean? And he put it and it went right back in the spine, and the bear went down, man. Well, RJ, I'll tell you what, I'm so proud of you and all the boys this week because you guys had a heck of a hunt. Great adventure. I mean, explain it. How'd that feel to you last night?
it felt amazing just watching them come in. A black and a brown bear just started walking in, and I'm like, oh, daddy. And you're like, oh, okay, wait, gotta get the camera ready. And then finally, when after a little while, the black bear just started walking around. Then the brown bear came in, very slowly, just kind of walked up. The black bear kind of took a little jog about 10 feet away. Then the brown bear, Cinnamon right here, buddy, kind of sat up on the tree and just started eating for a little while. And then just kind of walked around it again, and just kind of put back up there, and kind of did it one more time. And then he kind of put his hand out like that, and right there.
You zipped him.
Yes.
That's pretty incredible, buddy. And to keep your composure, I was really proud of you. I think we're proud of all you guys, man. The three amigos here in Alberta, you guys did it.
Just
Pretty
amazing. Yeah.
We're so proud of you.
Thanks.
Like we told you, I'm telling you what, there's nothing like hunting bears from the ground.
No, there's always something that's going to happen, and it's usually good.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
But it's an adrenaline rush like you will never have had before in your life. I'm telling you.
so if you've never hunted bears, maybe it's not the first thing to do is jump in and get in a blind, but after a couple years of, a couple different adventures of bear hunting, and you really want to have some fun, yeah, set up that muddy blind, get in there and enjoy, because I'm going to tell you something. There is no better way to hunt them except maybe spot and stalk.
You're right. And you know what, though? It's funny, though, is you said if you've never done it before, but earlier you said just go on and do it and suck it up, Buttercup. So you know what? Suck it up, Buttercup. Go bear hunting from a ground blind and get that adrenaline rush. We hope you enjoyed, again, this episode
Of Off Grid.
Off Grid with Ralph and Vicki, or Vicki and Ralph, depending on how you want to look at it.
You know,
It's always got to be something, I mean, earlier you said suck it up, Buttercup. So
Yeah, I mean, reality
you
of
should
it
just
is
do it too. Suck it up, Buttercup. It should be
it's
Vicki
still,
and Ralph.
It's still Ralph and Vicki.
Why?
And it ain't gonna change.
Ain't a word.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, I looked it up.
Closed caption brought to you by Wounded Warrior Outdoors, providing wounded servicemen and women with therapeutic outdoor adventures.
What?
I'll tell you right now, she'll be hunting bears. There's gonna be no blind. There's gonna be nothing. I'm just gonna tie her down, put some syrup and honey
That
on
doesn't
her,
even
and
sound
walk
like that.
away.
It's a family show. We apologize for any
I'm gonna put some
miscommunication
bear
that he
scent
may have
on her,
said. I apologize for
her
anything he
with
said.
anise, bear
Okay, so anyways, hey, have a
and
good
have a
week.
go and say, see ya. Just make sure that you have insurance.
Doofus.